I really thought that the multifunctional design cues that it had, while still looking sleek, I was like, oh, they did such a wonderful job on that.
There are some features on this boat that I absolutely do adore as well. I think that we've known about this boat for a little while, right? I remember when they started leaking some information to me, and the first time we heard about it, and then it was almost a little over a year to where we actually got to see it.
Welcome to another episode of the Southern Boating Podcast. I'm Ian Sneed.
I'm James Anderson.
And today we have a fun episode for you. We'll be talking about a vessel that we have touched on before when we did our Flybridge review.
We did.
Right? But we're going to go a little more in depth today. And we're also going to be talking about, I'm just going to say it, boat parades, because it is the holiday season and there are plenty of boat parades that you can go and enjoy. So we'll be touching on that with a few details that are going to be important for you. And before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever we have new episodes go live, and leave a comment and let us know what your favorite boat parade memory is.
I've got plenty.
Yeah.
We're going to touch on one.
I have one.
You have one. You've only been to one.
I've only been to one.
Well, you'll get plenty working here. That's for sure.
For sure. Okay, so with that, we'll kick it off. We will be talking about Cruisers 57 Flybridge.
Correct. I'm glad
Cruiser
you got it
Yachts,
right. You got it right. You nailed it.
Yes.
You nailed it. All right. So it originally was the 55 Fly.
Right.
But they renamed it just recently to the 57 Fly because it is a true 57-foot yacht. And it is stunning.
Yes.
I mean, I really, really like this. We struggled to get on it. In fact, you didn't get the chance.
I didn't get the chance.
You did not get the chance to get on this while I was at Fort Lauderdale. I did. I got to sneak on.
And I remember when you got on, because I was setting up my camera because we were going to record. You got on and you're looking around. You came off. Your face was like,
yeah, I really like it. Well, I think part of it too is the interior and the one that we got to see which is hole number one, I believe. It is hole number one. They only have the one right now, but it's that light blue color, like same color as my truck, same color that I almost wear to work every single day. Right?
Yeah,
I'm always wearing blue, so the blue stands out right away to me, and the blue and the white combo, I really, really like.
That's a great combo.
It's very. It gives it a very refreshing, airy feeling to the interior of this boat. And it's absolutely, unbelievable. Very well done by them. There are some features on this boat that I absolutely do adore as well. I think that we've known about this boat for a little while, right? I remember when they started leaking some information to me, and the first time we heard about it, and then it was almost a little over a year to where we actually got to see it. And first thing that when I learned that Cruisers was doing a 55 Fly, which then was called the 55 Fly, I was like, wow, really, that's a great move by you guys, because down here everybody loves a Flybridge.
Oh yeah,
right, and it's especially those cruisers to the Bahamas. They all love the Flybridge. Get a little wind in your hair. It's beautiful. You get a little higher advantage and look at the water. So when you're in the Bahamas, it's a little easier to navigate from up on the Flybridge. And it's just it is, from what we started talking about to what I got to see, it is far better than I thought it was going to be. That's for sure. So just to get started, it is 57 feet in overall length. The beam is 16 foot 6 inches, and you're looking at a bridge clearance of 22 feet 9 inches. So it'll fit under some of the drawbridges down here with no problem. Right, without having to wait on the drawbridge to go up, because drawbridges are annoying. Then you're also looking at some of the other aspects of it. I mean, there's no easier way to put on that.
Well, no, it's fair. Drawbridges are like the train tracks of the intercoastal. You know what I mean? Like, that's really...
And how many times did you get stuck at the train track over here? Well, you don't. You live in the neighborhood.
No, but I do. Whenever I have to go to my gym, I have to cross.
Get stuck by the train tracks.
I get stuck by the train tracks. And there's times where I'm like, oh, I just want to get through.
Well, if it's the bright line, it's like, boom, it's done, right? And you're like, okay, no big deal. But when it's that freight train, East Coast Railway, forget about it. Forget about it. You'd be there for 20 minutes waiting on the train.
Yeah, no,
it's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, so that's when we're talking about the drawbridges. That's the feeling I get.
So that's how you relay, right? It's like the train tracks.
Yeah, I mean, even when we're sitting there waiting, like, because there's been times where we have to wait for the drawbridge, and I'm just like, man, I feel like I'm at a train track right now. So sorry to go off topic.
Get a little sidetracked. That's okay. I understand. It's the same feeling, right?
Yeah,
it's the same exact feeling.
So it's good to know that height.
Yes, absolutely. Because like I said, so there's some drawbridges that'll go under, and there's some drawbridges that may not. Usually the smaller, older drawbridges, it's not going to fit under.
Yeah.
But for most of us, obviously 17th Street, that's a really tall one. Las Olas, it'll fit under, and a couple of others. But up by me,
not so much. Yeah.
No go. But in speaking with this, so it is a true flybridge, 57 feet in length. We are 3 cabins or 3 estate rooms, right? With 2 heads. And then you also have a crew cabin that's accessible. So that's really nice, right? Because this is kind of getting into that size of boat where you might start thinking about having a captain, maybe not all the time, but if you want to hire one for going cruising to the Bahamas or something like that, maybe you lack the confidence in yourself or the experience, and you want somebody to teach you. They have their own quarters, makes it really nice, right? Or that quarters can also, because it's access down by the swim platform, or it could be used as, a day head or something like that while people are enjoying the water, and you got the swim platform lowered so they can come in, use the head down there.
I was impressed both in person, because this is the part that I got to see best when I saw this boat in person, was the swim platform. Right. And the cockpit. It was just because of the way that they were docked. And so I was impressed with the swim platform space, the amount of space. It's
pretty big.
Yeah. And then, so when I read up on it, it has an optional transom, beach club, sun lounge that folds out. Right. So you can enjoy the sun. And then also when it's tucked away, again, the platform can submerge and there's steps. So it's easier to get in and out of the water if you're getting on water toys, whatever it might be. So I really thought that the multifunctional design cues that it had, while still looking sleek, I was like, oh, they did such a wonderful job on that.
Absolutely. So just to get started, I'll start from the top and we'll move down.
Yes.
So the flybridge. Flybridge is pretty expensive. It's got a fiberglass hollar top. Very, very nice. Right. You also have a U-shaped settee up there that fits up to 12 people.
And that's at the aft section of the flybridge.
That's the aft section of the flybridge. That is correct. Then you also have the helm, which is a double wide helm seat, right? And it's got twin 16-inch Garmins up there, MFDs, right? So you can pilot from up there very easy. You have everything at your disposal at that helm station. But then also you have like a co-captain sitting area to the other side. So very, very nice. So you got a lot of space up there, and it's got a little outdoor kitchen up there, a little summer kitchen.
I was gonna say, it has like a wet bar. That's to port.
That's to port. Yeah, correct. So it's got a lot, and that in and amongst itself has got some options. So it's got either a lot of storage, or you can equip it with an additional refrigerator, additional ice maker. They call it a Texan grill. So you can really trick this thing out with some options and make it really, really usable. I mean, to me, that would be my primary spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to soak in the sun as much as I'm not supposed to.
The layout of that flybridge, honestly, seems very, very comfortable, very inviting, very capable for entertaining. So, I mean, it really would be, as just you mentioned earlier, if you're going to be crossing over to the Bahamas, it really would be the spot that you want to be.
Yeah, especially once you're in the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Crystal clear, beautiful blue water.
Yeah.
The other thing is we move down. So we get down into the salon on the main deck. But one of the biggest features that I really, really love on this boat is the little veranda that it has. The little terrace that drops down. And it's right on the port side, which is also where the galley is. So the terrace comes down, right? Yeah. Create yourself a little veranda. You've got some removable bar stools that you can put in its place, right? And the railing to put up as well to help people feel more secure.
Yeah.
But then the window that separates the galley and this space drops down, and you have kind of a nice little pass through there. So it becomes kind of like another little entertaining space, or even to keep people out of the galley while you're fixing food for them, they can sit outside and still carry that conversation back and forth, right? So it's a really nice spot. I thought it was very thoughtful. And we know how I feel about the drop-down terraces. I think it's a smart
I love them.
function, and it really helps you expand some entertaining space on board. And then the bar stools, the way Cruiser thinks, they've got a spot for them in the engine room to store them away, so they're not just randomly placed somewhere. They have a home.
They're not taking up space, that you want to be using.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
When I was reading about the main deck, the panoramic windows seem to be a feature, right?
So there's windows all the way around. There's hardly any blind spots. Literally hardly any blind spots. It is amazing. The glass is 360 degrees except for one little small area. And it is just, you can see anywhere, which is great, right? I mean, how many times do you step behind the helm and you're like, man, I can't see that. I can't see this. With this one, it was hard to say that because you can literally stand there, turn around in 360s and see every aspect of the boat. And that's great as a safety concern. Yeah. Because nothing really goes out of sight.
So, I mean, we've talked about the Flybridge, the main deck, the swim platform. We've even touched on, down below, right? With the
with a little bit,
yeah. We talked about. Well, I know the owner suite has a private head.
That is correct. Right. So the owner suite has a private head with a separate shower, plenty of space. Even down where the owner suite is in the VIP suite, again, an abundance of windows, really letting in a lot of natural light. Yeah. And that's one thing that I take away from this boat is the amount of natural light that's coming into it. Really helps it feel that open, airy feeling and making it feel much larger than it is. Yeah. And I can't get over it. Every time that I would think about this boat, it really did seem to be much larger than 57 feet. Right. I mean, I think the first time I even saw it, you were with me and we spoke with them. And I was like, it doesn't look like, at that time I said 55 because it was a 55 fly. I said it looked more like 65 feet, right? And once you get on board and you start touring the vessel, it really does seem that way.
And I would assume it's because of the amount of windows and natural light that you feel it extends further out, right? Like it's, and then when you consider the fact that they made the swim platform spacious, that drop down terrace also spacious. Right. Like they really did take advantage of space on this vessel as in all design elements.
Well, so let's talk about, there's a lot of entertaining space in this, right? So you have the veranda, you have the salon, you have the Flybridge. Now let's talk about up on the bow and the sun pad that's up there. Because it's not just a sun pad that's up there. You also have a bench that's up there. And the sun pad is pretty smart. So the sun pads we see in a lot of cases where they can be tilted up so you're not laying flat on the sun pad all the time. Right. This one tilts up either which way. So you can tilt it up facing the bow or you can tilt it up facing the aft section of the boat, which is nice because when you're tilted up the other way, you almost have two benches facing each other, right? One's more of a sun lounger, right? But it's now facing, so you can engage in conversation with the people sitting there as well. So it becomes kind of a conversational, entertaining area.
Well, I'm not just that, but if you're lounging in the sun to get a 10 and
depending on which way the sun is.
Yeah, the angle of the sun, you might just want to flip to the other side and lift up.
Absolutely.
So there's also that benefit. Absolutely. No, I think that's great. And you're right. I didn't even think about the fact that it almost functions as an extra seating to face the bench. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, giving yourself a nice little entertainment space, right? Yeah. And you can get a top to put there as well, too. So you can get a sunshade that goes there, again, providing you some safety from the sun.
Awesome.
I always say safety from the sun's good, but I never follow my own direction. But the other aspects to this on the main deck is the galley. The galley's got everything that you need. It's got the freezers, the refrigerators. It's got a 2-burner stove top. It's got a convection oven mixed with a microwave. So you've got everything there that you need to really be, live on board if you want.
Right.
I mean, but
yeah,
it's
if you want to play,
very
chef,
well appointed.
you could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very well appointed. Can't get enough of it, and then it's got that, again, the window that opens up so you have kind of like a pass through to the veranda.
Yeah.
Very, very clever. You also have a nice helm station there, and it's got twin 19-inch garments. So for blind people like me, they need those big screens, and then to hit the magnifying glass on them to make everything bigger.
I have great vision, but I love seeing the larger screens because I can do more with it. And also, if you have big fingers, you probably want a larger screen because you probably have more space between the eye. If it's tiny little things, you have big old fingers, it's not going to work.
It doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? I know. So the master, full beam master, very beautiful, has the full head, so it's an ensuite. Very, very nice.
The queen berth is center line.
Queen berth, the center line, and then it's also got a little seating area with a table, so you can do some work there if you need, or if you just want to retire down there and you're not getting into bed yet and you want to do some reading or whatever, it's a nice little lounge area for you, so you can find some time away from the hustle and bustle of what's going on while you're entertaining upstairs, or you have guests on board. The VIP stateroom is all the way forward in the bow, but it makes ample use of the room. But it also has a lot of light coming into that too, because it's got windows on either side, and so both port and starboard, it's got the bow windows, and it lets in an awful lot of light.
And it's also a center line queen berth, right?
Yeah, it's a center line, exactly right.
And then, if I remember right, you have access to the day head right there.
Right. So
from that room,
the day head
or from the hall.
In the VIP suite, they share the day head, right? So they both have access to it.
Say it again.
So they both have access to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So there's
right.
entry from the VIP suite and entry from the hallway.
Correct. Yes. That's what I understood as I read it. How you just said it confused me. I was like, wait a second, that's not. But perfect.
Okay,
we're on the same page.
And then you have your third estate room, which is single beds. Very nice. So if you have, a family of 3, so a couple and a child, and you want to bring another family of 3, a couple and a child, this is the perfect boat.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then if you want, you can hire a captain, and he's got his own quarters too.
Right.
Right. So you really can't knock this. I mean, it really, really is interesting. I'm very happy that they made it, because I think it's going to fill a part of the market that they weren't touching yet.
Right.
And they should see great success with it.
Yeah,
great success. So what I would do is, if you are a fan of cruisers, or you're looking at a new boat that's in this size range, that 55 to 65 feet, this is a boat you got to check out. I mean, it really is.
Like, I still want to see it more in depth in person.
We need to get
from
you on
what I saw. I was like, it was a stunning vessel.
It really is
Gorgeous. You could tell just from where I was standing, you could tell that the inside was immaculate. You wanted to get on board.
Well, and the funny thing is you could see that there was a lot of built up anticipation for this boat, right? By the crowds that were getting on.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
Because it was hard to get on the boat. Period. I mean, every time we looked at it, it was right there outside of our tent.
Yep.
And every time you looked at it, it was packed with people. So hats off to Cruisers with this. I think you built one that everybody's going to adore.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait till maybe we go do a sea trial.
I would love that. Yep.
So we're going to have to work on that.
Yep.
Now, the next one is something that I truly love. Everybody should know that I love this time of year. Christmas is probably by far my favorite holiday, just for everything that Christmas stands for in this time. So what we have with that, living here in South Florida, what really was my entrance into boating, is we have the Fort Lauderdale Christmas parade with the boats, right? That goes down the New River.
Yeah, the boat parade, yep.
And that was my first introduction to really Fort Lauderdale boating, because I can remember a family friend of ours who was a yacht broker took us out for the first time. I must have been about 6 or 7 years old at the time, and it's wowed me ever since. I was enamored by it then, and I'm still to this day, 35 some odd years later, still enamored by the event.
It's such a nice way to spend an evening. Like,
it really is.
It's such, I don't know how else to say it. It's such a nice way to spend an evening.
Yeah, and whether you enjoy it from on a boat,
Mm-hmm.
on one of the boats in the parade,
Mm-hmm.
or somewhere on shore,
Right.
it's enjoyable all the way around.
So we have, I'll put the link in the description, but we have an article online that talks about boat parades happening between December 6th and December 21st of, obviously, 2024. It covers boat parades from Virginia to DC to Maryland to Florida. It's on page 20 of the December issue, so if you want to look it up. Now, the cool thing about this article, it talks about one of the biggest boat parades is down in Clear Lake Channel in Texas. But, I mean, I still think that the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show is going to be, you know.
To me, it's always my favorite.
Yeah,
right?
If you get the chance, you got to check it out. It's the only one I've been to, so I'm going to be biased. I know that. I'll be upfront about that.
So yeah, we have the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show down here. But even moving up the coast, for me, we have one in Delray, we have one in Boca, we have one in West Palm.
Mm-hmm.
Boynton has a little boat parade that they do. You know, so just about every city has one that's on the intercoastal.
Yeah.
So if we don't cover it in this article, look at your local resources. You might be surprised that there is an organization doing a small boat parade, and it's a lot of fun to see people decorate their boats.
Oh yeah,
get
to
out,
get
and just
into the
have
spirit.
fun and be in the spirit. Yeah. Exactly right.
I love it. So the one in Texas is on December 14th at 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one in Louisiana, DeCambra, Louisiana, same day, December 14th, same time, 6 p.m. So because boat shows are not boat shows, boat parades are already going on as of this video. You know, they're already going on. Go look, like James just said, go look online at your local resources and see if there's not one scheduled, you know, near you now.
Yeah, if you live on the water, chances are there's one close by.
Absolutely. So go check it out. They really are a lot of fun. The article also touches on a few New Year's Eve plans that you can make, you know, because you're transitioning out of December. So it makes sense. It talks about Palm City or Panama City Beach, Florida. Talks about New Orleans, Louisiana, Mobile, Alabama. They all have their own New Year's Eve experiences that you can have. But really, like if we talk about the boat parades, you get to see the boating community, in my opinion, at its best. You get to see the spirit of the boating community.
Well, you know, having a festive good time, right?
Yes,
and that's
absolutely.
a lot of fun. And that's what our community is about. It's about helping each other. It's about having good times with each other.
And it's about enjoying the water, enjoying the community, enjoying the people, your fellow boaters. Yeah. I really love boat parades. I've only been to one. I've been there twice, but I've only been to one.
So now we got to get you as a judge at one of the parades.
Look, man, let's walk before we, okay?
No, I go straight to sprinting. You should know that.
Let's walk before we run. That's my stance.
Why walk when you can run all the time? Haven't you watched Forrest Gump?
It's the concept about control, right? Can you control your speed? You could go fast, cool, but can you control the speed? Can you slow it down when you need to go slower? There's a lot to it, man.
I think you need to have more Forrest and less Ian, and just do it.
All right. I mean,
he was a
boater
said,
too.
I felt like running.
He was a shrimp captain, right? He was a boater too, so I guess sure.
Fictitious character there. So, but that's it.
That's it. That's all.
That's it for us right now. I'm James Anderson.
I'm Ian Sneed.
Make sure to check us out next week.